Hi friends, and welcome to another video from Carolina's Cottage. I'm Johnny, and today I'm showing you a French country makeover of a couple of charming little bistro chairs. I also have a Shabby Chic project following that. Here's what these chairs looked like. The metal was a little rusty and the wood seats were weathered. So I'm cleaning all the spider webs and dust and dirt off of these. They've been in my storage for a little while, and I'm going to remove the seats and I'll sand them down, give them a little bit of preparation before I put the paint on. And even though this part is a little tedious and maybe not so enjoyable, this may be the most important part to making your piece last and have a good outcome, because you're laying the foundation not only for a smooth surface, but you're also protecting the wood when you do this. This is the underside of these wooden seats, and as you can see here, the wood is very dry. So after I clean these with a wet wipe, I'm going to put shellac on them to seal and protect the wood. And it's always interesting what you find when you deconstruct these pieces. On this one, it looks like at some point someone probably upholstered these wood seats, because there's a lot of little nail holes or tack holes. And so that's another reason for sealing it and protecting it before I put the paint on it. And what I'm using here is an old soft sponge sanding pad that I've had for a few years, and I really love it. I have a few of these, but apparently they've been discontinued. So I'm using a similar sandpaper with Velcro on it and trimming it to fit this. I'm doing a couple of things here with this sanding pad. First, I want to smooth out the imperfections that are on the top side, where I'm going to be putting another coat of shellac and then putting some chalk paint and stamps over it. But I also want to take off some of the shine to help the chalk paint adhere a little better. If you are enjoying this video so far, please give it a thumbs up. For putting the shellac on and also for painting them, I want to lift these up a little bit from the surface. These little discs are made by Rockler Woodworking Company, although I have seen some cheaper similar things at Home Depot. They're plastic and they're just in the shape of a pyramid, and I think they're called pyramid risers, but you can also get those. And I've even used some pieces of 2x4 lumber that I just put under the piece to elevate it a little bit so that I can paint those edges. And of course, using an old Lazy Susan like this is really helpful for turning the piece and getting to all the edges easily. And again, this is a natural product. It's just shellac. It's been used for decades. It is not water-based, but it really gives a good seal to the wood so that no stains or oils from the wood come through. And it's just a good foundation for applying chalk paint, especially if you're going to be using something outdoors, which I probably am going to be putting this bistro set on a porch. Now, while those pieces are drying, I moved the framework to these chairs outdoors because I wanted to spray paint them. This is a Rustoleum product. It's called Ultra Cover, and it's a black satin finish, and it's good for use on wood, metal, and plastics. I got this at my local Home Depot, but if I can find this on Amazon, I will link it below. But it's a quick way to paint something like this. And what I want to encourage you to do as you paint it so you don't miss any spots is treat this framework as if it were square as you're painting. So what I mean by that is, as you'll see, when I'm painting on the vertical pieces, I'm painting sides, then I'm painting front, then I'm painting opposite side, then I'm painting back. This may sound rather obvious, but I think consciously being thoughtful about painting in this pattern has helped me cover all the areas more than just going top to bottom. I put 2 coats on these, and then I gave a 3rd coat to areas that I felt would get the most use, like the foot or feet areas of these and that front bar where people may put their feet. And back inside now, I'm going to just take a look at some of my Iron Orchid design stamps. I've kind of decided what I want this to look like, or which stamps I want to use on here, and I'm just getting the placement right. Since my stamp pad has been sitting for a few weeks, I am adding additional ink to the pad here, but I think I overdid it because you'll see when I use my first stamp here that it's really pretty dark. And because of the texture on this wood, there is a little bit of wood grain that I couldn't get completely smooth, and I'm okay with that because it is older wood and I kind of want that texture of the wood grain to show, but I did have to go back and touch up the stamp just a little bit, and I think on some of these larger stamps it is not a good idea to use the brayer or roller. I had to go back by hand and re-stamp this in some of the sections, and I just tried to be as careful as I could so I didn't smudge the image. I decided to put a mark with an erasable marker along the edge of this so that I didn't have to ink up the whole design, and I also wanted the design to kind of cascade over the edge a little bit. I really love this design from Iron Orchid Designs. It's a 2-page set, and I will put the name of the set in my description below for those of you who are interested in purchasing this one for use. I've used this particular set more than any others I've bought. Here's the completed seat. I did 2 of these, and as you can see, the texture of the wood grain kind of shows through the stamp, which I really love. It has a little bit of a rustic look to it. I used a spray clear coat. That's also a Rustoleum product, and I will link that in the description below as well. And I'm putting them back together. I did have to re-drill screw holes for these because what I didn't think about as I was painting them, I lined up the design with the wood grain, and that's not necessarily how they were attached before. And that seems to be pretty typical for me in most projects. There's just some things I can't or don't think through and have to readjust or sometimes redo them. And that's okay, that's part of the process, and that's part of the experience we pick up as we do these projects. Okay, let's move on to the next project, and I will show a before and after with more photos of the finished projects at the end of the video. This was a great find at a local Goodwill store. I think it was only $5.99 or $6.99. It's very heavy. I don't think it's terribly old, maybe 20 years, maybe a little more, but it's so well made. It is very thick wood, probably 2-inch wood. I, however, am not real pleased with the way this turned out. I'm not sure if I should have gone with a more rustic look for this, maybe decorated or designed the final result to fit a boy, but I just thought it might be a cute little shabby chic horse for decorating a little girl's room, and that's the direction I went with this. I just seem to struggle with this project. Sometimes it's just a little difficult to get the feel for the direction of how something should go. So that's exactly what happened with this one. I did want to show you how I painted the eyes. You saw in the before picture that there were just little bead eyes, and I just painted kind of an almond-shaped white background, fill this in with black paint, and then you'll see as this progresses that I'm giving it a couple of accents with a light blue, little half circle on each side of this black area, and then a little white dot of paint to show the highlight. But let me know what you think about this. Maybe I should have gone with the rustic look, or maybe this just needed a little more detail, like maybe a dark wax. I'm just not sure, so just let me know what you think in the comments. And then the last little detail I gave to these eyes was just an outline around the eye with a light pink acrylic paint, just to kind of give some definition for the eyelids. I do have a pop-up here at the end of this video that you can click on to watch more of my videos. Thank you for watching today, and I will see you in the next video.